love in any series, any game, TV show, movie, and so on is character development. And for the better or for worse, character development is always welcome in my book. Now, that being said, you have to be very careful when developing your characters, as you don't want to completely break them. Anytime I see character development happen that's required for the main character to break character, it severely pisses me off. Where are you going with this, I hear you ask? Didn't the title card say Animated Angels? It did. But I never said all animated angels were perfect. Both Blue and A Fright Before Christmas are far from absolutely perfect, but they're just good enough for me. Now, let's look at one show I thought was extremely close to perfect, Daria. Daria looked into the life of a very indifferent, sarcastic teenage girl by the name of Daria as she goes through the biggest hell in anyone's life, school. Now, while I didn't experience all the troubles Daria had to go through with beauty issues, teachers going on strike, or helping my friend's boy or girlfriend cheat with me, they go through these issues well enough in a non-offensive manner, something I wish I could say about some other shows. Now, that being said, Daria has one serious episode that will drag you into, and never let you out of, childhood trauma. A feud between mother and father. If you are triggered by this subject, I suggest heed the warning I gave earlier and turn off this video now. We start with a really good hook, foreshadowing if you will, of a car crash sound and someone asking if someone of the female persuasion is okay. Trust me, this comes into play in a way you would never expect. Cut to Daria's house where we see the Morgendorfers have gotten a new refrigerator. This will also be important despite how little and insignificant the scene is. It becomes a big story point. Cut to the school where we see Daria talking to her friend Jane about Daria's boyfriend Tom, going to a rich place called the Cove. And oh boy, do I have some choice words about Tom. But again, another story for another day. Another plot point I need to point out is this one. One of the teachers walks up to Daria and asks if she'll show new students around the school. Now the reason this is interesting is, throughout the series we see Daria is a loner, and has always been that way, so she isn't going to want to do this task. And now that we have our pieces to the repeating Rube Goldberg machine, let us begin. Cut to Asshole's house, where he says it's okay for Daria to come to the Cove. She declines because weddings are boring. Again, you may want to remember this. Daria and her sister have some banter about the fridge when Daria notices a box in the backyard. She asks her mother if they've had a box like that before, and her mother denies it, and asks her to take it out. Daria asks why can't her father do it, and the mother explains that he went on a last-minute business trip. So Daria and her sister drag the box across the backyard to get rid of it, and Daria asks questions pertaining to childhood. That night, Daria has a flashback to her childhood, where we see Daria in bed while we hear a fight going on off-screen about Daria. You can probably already guess where this is going, but at this point I wasn't too sure what was going on. They had me guessing. But Daria brings the box out to the backyard, which the mom sees and has the younger daughter to take it back out, only for Daria to bring it back in to try to remember something. Cut to the school where the teacher tries again to get Daria to show new students around, and she turns it down, getting offended by the reason the teacher wants her to join. At home, Daria has a chat with her mother about the box in the backyard until Daria asks a question about her childhood. After Daria gets fed up and calls Senior Shark Jump, asking when he is getting back from the wedding. They talk a bit before she gets fed up with him and hangs up. Continuing with our series of dominoes, Daria and Jane walk up to the box, and Daria tries explaining to Jane that the box means something to her. She crawls inside and has another flashback. Daria's sister comes to explain to Daria that the fight was about her. Daria seems upset by this and crawls back into the comfort of the box. We have another flashback to Daria talking to a psychiatrist or therapist. Meh. I don't know if it really much matters. On the car ride back, Daria has a conversation with her mother talking about why she doesn't fit in with the other students. Cut back to young Daria in her bed where we see a more fleshed out version of her previous flashback.
Well, I don't know what to do. I'm at my wit's end.
Damn it, Helen, that's it! I go in there every day to face a psychotic boss, a job that makes me feel like a freaking slave, and then I have to come home and deal with this? How much am I supposed to take?
Jake, this isn't about you. It's about her. Having a little trouble fitting in.
She doesn't want to fit in, damn it! Why can't you admit that?
Jake, she's a child. She doesn't know any better.
That's what she wants you to believe!
Where are you going?
Jake gets home to find Daria in a box and then asks Helen what she's doing out there. Quinn comes to see Daria is still in the box. When Jake and Ellen ask why she's out there, Quinn explains that Daria is out there because of a fight they had when she and Daria were kids. Helen and Jake go to check on Daria and then they have a chat. Helen explains that the school called. Jake had a shitty boss and she was trying to work 2 jobs, explaining that they were both stressed. Daria blames herself and they try snapping her out of it. She still blames herself and drives off towards Todd's family wedding. The rain causes a wreck which Daria was almost a part of, and then the sound from the first scene repeats. This breaks Daria. We see her at a cafe where we see Jane walk in and Daria hugs her for comfort. Now, I should remind you that up to this point, Daria is usually the strong one in these situations, being that she'll show very little emotion. So seeing a scene like this really shocked me. Think of the scene of Big Bang Theory when Sheldon hugged Penny because of his signature from Leonard Nimoy. It's a very similar scene. Daria tries to explain to Jane what happened, and Jane tries to calm her down, and she drives back home. The Morgendorfers have a chat, and Daria calms down as she goes up to her room and finds a box in there placed by Quinn. The episode finishes off with 2 more scenes, the first being Daria talking to Todd about not coming up to the wedding. Not much meat there. And then we see Daria giving tours of the school to the new students, ending the episode. I don't know much on how to end this review. I guess I should start a collection of episodes that are essential to watch to get a good idea of the perfect episode to me. And this would definitely be the start of that collection. Character development is essential to storytelling, but it is extremely difficult to do without the proper setup. Boxing Daria definitely does it well by showing the before and after within the episode. Look at the beginning of the episode and she shoves everyone away, and then by the end of the episode she feels like she can talk to people, showing character development nicely.